Greetings everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John Lang and I am the owner and creator of ATA. And just to clear this up before the comments get flooded about it, I am not the narrator for this channel, that's why my voice sounds different, but I am the guy that does pretty much everything else, including writing the grading sections. The video that you're about to watch was originally posted a week ago, but after hearing your feedback about the grading in this episode, I felt that it was necessary to retract the video and change the original grade. And I want to be clear that I'm not changing this grade purely because it was an unpopular opinion. There have been many past episodes where the majority of the viewers didn't agree with the grades that were issued. And I'm sure that you yourself have probably disagreed with at least some of the assessments that are showcased on this channel. The truth is that this channel has always been dedicated to fairness, transparency, and accountability, and I'm changing the grade on this episode because you all were objectively right, not because I felt pressured or I'm afraid to lose viewers. There's a fine line between having a bad opinion and having a wrong opinion. And doubling down on the wrong ideas is exactly the kind of behavior that I have consistently criticized on this channel from both the police and the public. For the sake of transparency, I'm leaving the original grade in this episode, but I will be adding a revised grade along with it. I'm doing that because I don't want to hide my mistakes. I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong and take ownership of whatever mistakes I make, and I'm happy to do that publicly. The fact is that I gave too much circumstantial deference to the individual involved in this encounter the first time around, and I think the new grade more closely aligns with the points that I made in the original grading section. I still stand by everything that I said in the grading section, but I have to admit that the grade that was issued didn't accurately reflect the conduct that was shown in the video. I highly encourage you all to watch this episode before just jumping to the grading section so that you understand the full context of the encounter. So there you go. Audit the Audit has been audited by Audit the Audit. And I give myself a big fat F for the original grade on this episode. Thank you all for giving me a brief moment of your time. If you'd like to hear more from me, you can follow me on my second channel, which is linked down below. Hopefully I'll see you there. Now let's dive into today's episode.
On August 29, 2024, Deputy Alex Almaguer of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Florida initiated a traffic stop on community activist and pastor Carl Soto. Mr. Soto suffered a serious spinal cord injury in 2021 and had undergone several back surgeries to treat his condition. Mr. Soto's most recent surgery occurred on August 14, 2024, roughly 2 weeks before the date of the traffic stop. At the time he was pulled over, Pastor Soto had been out of the hospital for approximately a week, and he was still in the rehab process as he had staples in his back and could not walk without assistance. The interaction that occurred during the traffic stop was captured by Deputy Almaguer's body camera.
I'll make this real smooth. I got a dash cam going. I'm gonna give you about 0.2 seconds. Explain to me what you pulled me over for, because I have not committed any traffic violations.
The tag. You can't have that design.
Yes, sir. You can't. I'm a third-year law student. This is not something you want to do.
I'm gonna see your driver's license, please.
Okay. What is first of all, that's not. Get your watch coming out here now.
Hillsborough 2 Delta.
Now.
Can I get a 1094?
Let me call your sheriff, just so you know.
Don't call the sheriff.
I will right now.
Don't call the sheriff.
In case you can see my shirt.
Can I see your driver's license?
What's your lawful command of pulling me over,
316-605.
Florida statute. Okay. Let me get your watch coming out here now. Get your watch coming out here now. And that body camera didn't roll.
Let me see your driver's license.
You will not. Okay.
Let me see your driver's license.
Okay.
2 Delta 15. Can I have a
Get your watch coming out here now.
Get out of the car.
You will
Give me
not.
your driver's license.
Okay.
Give me your driver's license now.
Okay. This is what
Give me your driver's license now.
You have no lawful reason to open this door.
Driver's license now.
You have no lawful reason to open this door.
Driver's license
Back
now.
the hell up now.
Driver's license
this
now.
body camera is going.
Driver's license now.
This is what I'm going to do before I pull it out.
10-4. Driver's license now.
Get them on the phone. Get your watch commander out
here now.
Give me your driver's
license now.
Get your watch commander out here now.
Give me your driver's license now.
You will not take it.
Give me your driver's license.
Baby, I'm being...
Stop. Give me your driver's license.
I had officers trying to grab my arm.
Give me your driver's license now.
Okay.
Give me your license.
He has a weapon pointed at me.
Unbuckle your seatbelt with your right hand now.
Okay. Get your watch commander out here now.
Unbuckle your seatbelt with your right hand now.
Okay.
Just calm down.
Okay.
Just calm down. Just calm down.
Keep your hands there.
You just sparked the lawsuit.
Keep your
Just so you
hand
know. I will
there.
not call him the
Calm
sheriff.
down.
Babe, he has a weapon pointed at me.
Do not move.
No.
Get out of the
You will
car.
not make me get out of this car.
Get out of this
I have
car
done
now. Get out of this car now. Get out of this car now.
Okay.
Keep your hand on the steering wheel.
Okay.
Stay right there. Do not move.
Just do what he said.
Get your
Do
watch minute
not
out here now.
move.
That body camera better be
Do
rolling.
not
That body
move.
camera better be rolling. You will not point that weapon at me. I have done no unlawful criminal commands. This is a civil traffic stop. You have no lawful reason to pull that weapon out on me just because we're having a verbal disagreement. You have lost your mind. Your badge will be removed today. He has a weapon pointed at my face. Baby, I need you to get. I need you to get. I need you to get the attorney on the phone now.
Stop. Stop fighting now.
Baby, he has
Stop
cops. Baby, you're gonna have to go get
now.
your kids.
Stop fighting now.
I am on cane.
Get out of the car.
I cannot stand on my
Get
own
out of the
feet.
car.
I cannot stand on my own
Get
feet.
out of the
If you
car.
see the second row,
Now.
you will see there's two canes
Get
there.
out of the car.
I cannot stand on my own
Get
two
out
feet.
of the car.
I just had surgery.
Then get out and lay down.
Okay, just calm
Stop
down.
fighting
Get your watch.
now.
You will not put those
Stop
cuffs on
fighting
me.
now. I'm going to tase you right now. Get out
You will
now.
not put those cuffs
Get
on
out
me.
now. You're about to be tased.
Okay.
You're about to be tased.
You're going to be stripped of your badge today. You're going to be stripped today.
Get down. Get down.
He has a weapon pointed at me,
Get
baby.
down
Get
now.
attorney, baby. I need you to get attorney Malik
Get
Shabazz on the phone
down
now.
Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. I don't want to
cannot-
pull you down if you have a bad
I
back.
have
Then
staples
slow
in
down
my back.
and get down.
You cannot make me
Get
get on
down.
my back. Sir, I'm going to lean here.
Get
This is what I
down.
will do.
Get down. I'm telling you right now. If you don't get down, if you don't get down,
Baby!
if you don't get down right now,
Okay. Baby!
stop.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be a lawsuit. You're on my back and I just had surgery. I just had surgery and you're on my back. Hi, sir.
Yeah. Stop fighting me now.
This is going to be a lawsuit.
After continuing to threaten Pastor Soto with his taser, Deputy Almaguer throws him onto the ground and puts a knee on his back while handcuffing him, despite the fact that Pastor Soto clearly informed him that he had recently had back surgery and that he was not complying with the order to exit the vehicle because he could not stand on his own. Under the Fourth Amendment, claims of excessive force during an arrest are evaluated under a so-called objective reasonableness standard. The test looks at whether an officer's actions were objectively reasonable in light of the facts and circumstances as known to them at the time the force was used. Here, Pastor Soto explicitly communicated to Deputy Almaguer that he had just had back surgery and could not stand without his crutches. So this information would be considered part of the facts and circumstances as known to Deputy Almaguer at the time he chose to employ force. As we have discussed before here on ATA, the Supreme Court outlined several factors to guide the objective reasonableness analysis in the 1989 case of Graham versus Connor. The severity of the suspected offense, whether the suspect posed an immediate threat to officers or others, and whether the suspect was actively resisting or attempting to flee. Applying the Graham factors to these circumstances, there is a strong argument that the force employed was constitutionally excessive, as the severity of the crime was low. There was no indication that Pastor Soto posed any immediate threat to Deputy Almaguer or the public, particularly given his physical condition, and while Pastor Soto was engaged in passive, non-violent resistance to Deputy Almaguer's commands, he did not demonstrate physical aggression or any attempt to flee.
You get 1075. Just keep a couple units. I got one detained.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay, baby.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You get ready to fall on the stick of your face.
You got anything on you?
I do not see everything
Turn around. Sit up.
It's okay. I'm on Hillsborough.
Sit up.
What I need you to do is get Sheriff
Hold
Chad
on.
Carson on the phone. I need your badge number. I am a license concealed.
That's fine. I'm giving you my knee so you can lean on it.
I just had surgery. This guy came up here threatening me already with his hand on his weapon. He's
You
telling
see
me
his fake tack he's got?
that's not a fake.
He's got
tag.
that Joker description on it. Ready? Stand up. Come on.
I just had surgery.
All right. Put your leg in. All you had to do is get
Over
your
a
ID and a
tag?
ticket.
So you're doing this over a tag?
Put him in a
Okay.
ticket.
Okay. You just lost your job.
No, he did.
Okay. Watch this. You should see my shirt.
You see that tag he's
You
got?
should see my shirt. You should see my shirt. You just lost your job. Get your lieutenant out here now. I am the nephew of the captain of Polk County. Let's bet on it. This is going to spark a lawsuit.
He's a sovereign.
This is going to spark a lawsuit. Get your lieutenant, please. You're just a corporal.
Widen your stance. Widen your stance.
Okay.
And stop. A simple ticket of you to fix your tag, and you turned it to this, and now you're
You
going to
started
jail.
threatening me with your hand on your weapon. I was in fear for my safety. This is a civil traffic violation. Even
And you turned it into this. You're right.
Okay, we'll see. I hope that body camera better been rolling.
It is. You got 4 of them here.
Okay, they weren't here when this started.
All right, well, my
Now, I'm gonna make sure on this report that your badge numbers are all listed. Make sure on this report. I cannot fit there.
You're going to fit in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I get there and I'm like, what'd you pull me over for? I need your lieutenant. I'm calling the sheriff.
We're towing this, right?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well, we need to do an inventory search.
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing that. That's what I'm doing right now.
Make sure you get a lieutenant out here, please.
They won't come.
Oh, they won't? Okay.
They don't need to. Huh?
What's going on?
So I pull him over for this tag. Yeah, it's fake. I mean, it's not fake. It's a real Florida tag, but this design, Florida doesn't have that.
Okay.
So you can't do that. He's altering the tag.
Deputy Almaguer argues that Pastor Soto's tag is unlawfully altered in violation of Section 316.605 of the Florida statutes. This statute prohibits placing anything on the face of a license plate or using license plates other than those furnished by the state. This means that altering a state-issued license plate by placing something on it, including a sticker or vinyl wrap, is a violation of Florida law. Therefore, while it should be noted that the offense is only classified as a non-criminal traffic infraction, it is likely that a court would conclude that Pastor Soto's license plate violated the statute, as it does appear that a decal or another similar covering had been placed on the face of the license plate.
316.605.
Nice.
Pull him over for that. Right away. Please just stop the reason someone else. Shaking. I'm going to call the sheriff. Give me your ID. Give me your driver's license. Give me your driver's license. No, so he's a big guy.
Hang on, you said no?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to charge him with obstruction, right?
Yeah, he's going for resist without right now. And that's why I get him at taser point, and I'm like, get out of this car. And he's a big dude. I couldn't get him out of the car.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody close by. I said, all right. And then he was getting out slowly, and that's when I was able to pull him down. I was able to pull him down and get him.
Hey, did you run the actual VIN yet?
No, not yet.
It has CCW on that.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, the guy in the seat and everything, man.
Dude.
Well, yeah, bring his phone, my mommy.
That's his girl. She was just calling him.
If he has a CCW, it don't matter, so we need to check that.
Dude, he was reaching over this way. That's when I got on a taser point.
Here you go.
He's got a permit, so.
Well, if he's got a permit, he's good on that.
I mean, yeah, he can have it.
Well, the running, I mean, you never know if it's stolen.
Yeah, he can have it. It's just one of those things where it's, you know, I feel like he's a sovereign citizen. Let me go. I'll start running him and checking his VIN and stuff real quick. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Come on. I saw this car yesterday, and I ran the tag. I said, "This is the thing," but I was going to another car. I just got lucky enough to see it again today. You are. But I got a hit on it because you're going to jail.
What's the criminal charge?
Resisting officer without violence.
There has to be a criminal offense. I don't think that a criminal offense is
Yeah, not giving me your ID.
You're going to lose your job.
That's fine.
I'm here at 13P, 30 County Road
So you're
1015.
charging me with just resisting arrest without violence.
No, not yet. Yes, you're going to jail for resisting, and you're getting a ticket for the tag.
Deputy Almaguer informs Pastor Soto that he will be charged with resisting without violence, and Pastor Soto argues that he cannot be charged with resisting because he had not first committed a separate crime. Now, while some jurisdictions only criminalize the act of resisting arrest, Florida is among the states that make it illegal to quote-unquote resist an officer in the course of the lawful execution of their duties. Section 843.02 of the Florida statutes codifies the offense of resisting an officer without violence. Courts have determined that an individual individual can be convicted of quote-unquote resisting under this statute for the refusal to comply with a police officer's lawful order. For example, in the 2023 case of Senko versus Jackson, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Florida, determined that officers had probable cause to arrest a citizen for resisting for refusing to exit his vehicle when ordered to do so. Therefore, while the situation with Pastor Soto refusing to exit the vehicle is complicated by the fact that he was unable to stand on his own due to his back surgery, it is still possible that a court would conclude that he committed the offense of quote-unquote resisting by refusing to hand over his driver's license to Deputy Almaguer.
So a civil traffic violation, and you put your hands on me, put your hands on your
Yep, once you refuse, I didn't put my hands on my gun.
My hand was on the weapon as soon as you approached.
Not my gun.
That should get it. So you know those
That's fine, my hand was never on my gun. Yeah. Yeah, I think you just saw it. I mean, look at this. You see his tag?
I'm not a sovereign citizen. Just watch the motion.
Hey, sorry. So I pull his car that tag's fake. I mean, it's a real tag, but the design on it is fake. So you put a fake design on the tag. Here, they can have this.
What are you talking about? We just got these vehicles. We just got these cars. He painted the color. It was blue. It used to be blue. He got it repainted because he didn't like the blue.
The tag's illegal.
Huh?
The tag's illegal.
It is not illegal.
316-605. That's the Florida State statute. I read it to him in the back.
But how's he supposed to know that?
That's what I was the point of the stop was to let him know that. And when he refused to provide ID, when he's lawfully detained on a lawful traffic stop, he's got to provide ID. No, the tag's clearly illegal. Yeah. And they're all like angry at me. I said, listen, there's just gonna be a warning. That's all there's gonna be. And so I saw this tag yesterday. I saw this tag yesterday. Someone took a comparison. And I was 51 to a pole, and I couldn't stop. And so I was like, okay, whatever. You know, that thing was like, oh, go see another day. And then I saw it. I said, I looked at it today and Googled like Florida specialty Joker plate. I'm like, let me be 100% certain.
Yeah, they said
that's a cool tag.
They said that a week or two ago. Now the tag's being painted and
yeah, that's that one is. You know. Yeah,
you can see it on it.
Her tag is. Yeah, so you can tell it's a regular Florida tag. Right? Yeah, you can tell it's that one. It's one of those ones. He did put a painting over it, but again. Honestly, if it's black and like the Joker picture is not there and you can see Sunshine State, you're good. That's a good tag. But everything else is.
You can't see it.
Oh yeah, which violates 316-605. Things in there saying I had my gun. That's the thing. Again, they were. I thought about it. They reach over the passenger seat to put the wallet down. I thought about it. See, are you taking his property or is he coming with him? Okay, let me verify with him.
I'm his wife. Yes.
Okay, well. So are you okay with your wife taking your wallet, your 2 phones, your chain, your AirPods, and that Florida State little keychain?
Yes. Okay.
I do. Yeah. And then the chain, Florida State keys.
Pastor Soto was charged with the license plate violation and resisting an officer without violence for refusing to provide his driver's license to Deputy Almaguer. On October 25, 2024, Pastor Soto entered into a plea agreement that required him to plead no contest to both charges and write an apology letter, while the court would, quote-unquote, withhold adjudication, meaning that he would not be formally convicted of either offense. That same day, an attorney named Robert Strickland, who was not Pastor Soto's attorney of record and worked for a different law firm than Pastor Soto's attorney, filed an unsigned apology letter with the court that was allegedly from Pastor Soto. As required by the plea agreement, the letter was also mailed to Deputy Almaguer. The letter apologized for Pastor Soto's conduct during the traffic stop, and specifically for the failure to comply with Deputy Almaguer's command to provide his driver's license, which resulted in the resisting charge. However, on April 7th, 2025, Pastor Soto filed a quote-unquote clarification with the court indicating that the apology letter submitted on October 25th was not approved or authorized by him, and stating that he had mailed a completely different apology letter on October 28th. Pastor Soto also wrote that he never authorized Attorney Strickland to submit anything on his behalf, and submitted a copy of the authentic apology letter. Pastor Soto's apology letter strongly maintained that his actions were not criminal, and instead included an apology for yelling and using profanity during the encounter. On April 4th, 2025, 2005, Pastor Soto filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Deputy Almaguer, Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Cronister, and Sergeant Orlis Oquendo, who was also involved in Pastor Soto's arrest. The complaint, which was amended on June 15, 2025, alleged violations of the ADA and Rehabilitation Act, false arrest and detention, and excessive force, among other claims. The complaint also included additional allegations regarding Pastor Soto's treatment during his arrest, such as the fact that despite repeated requests for his bilateral canes, Sergeant Oquendo told him that they would be towed with his vehicle, and Pastor Soto was required to sit in the back of a squad car for approximately 2 hours, then go through approximately 8 hours of arrest and processing at Hillsborough County Jail without the use of his canes. According to the complaint, Pastor Soto was rushed to the emergency room on September 2, 2024, just a few days after his arrest, where an MRI revealed severe spinal canal stenosis and dorsal fluid collection in his lumbar spine. And on September 6, 2024, he underwent emergency surgery. The complaint also alleges that Pastor Soto needed another emergency surgery on December 9, 2024, and that he was admitted to the hospital a total of 4 times since his arrest due to recurring neck and back issues. As of the date of writing this episode, Pastor Soto's lawsuit is still pending. Overall, Deputy Almaguer gets an F for transforming a minor traffic violation into an unnecessary physical altercation, utterly failing to employ any form of de-escalation, and for demonstrating a reckless disregard for Pastor Soto's medical condition. There is certainly an argument to be made that when Pastor Soto refused to hand over his identification to Deputy Almaguer, he was violating Section 322.15 of the Florida statutes, which was recently amended to require that drivers, quote-unquote, present or submit their licenses to law enforcement officers during a traffic stop. However, the authority of Deputy Almaguer to demand Pastor Soto's ID is largely overshadowed by his response to the pastor's refusal. Rather than waiting for backup to arrive or attempting to de-escalate, Deputy Almaguer defaulted to ordering Pastor Soto out of his vehicle at taser point and ultimately using force to accomplish that goal. It is important to note that a court could conclude that Deputy Almaguer's threatened taser use was not excessive force in violation of the Fourth Amendment, under the Eighth Circuit case of Draper versus Reynolds. But forcibly removing Pastor Soto from the vehicle after being informed of his medical condition is another matter entirely. The Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, requires police officers to provide so-called reasonable accommodations for individuals with known disabilities when making arrests. As Pastor Soto's back condition was known, and feasible accommodations such as allowing Pastor Soto to remain in the vehicle, using less forceful handling, or waiting for backup were ignored, there is a strong argument that the force Deputy Almaguer used on Pastor Soto also violated the ADA. Not only was Deputy Almaguer's taser use entirely unnecessary, but physically forcing a medically disabled individual out of their vehicle over passive resistance is indefensible. This interaction highlights the catastrophic consequences that can arise when officers abandon de-escalation and procedural restraint in favor of brute force, particularly when dealing with vulnerable members of the public. Pastor Soto gets a B- because although he likely violated Florida law, his resistance was entirely passive and under credible medical duress. He clearly communicated his medical condition to the deputy, and he followed up the encounter with the proper legal action. As a third-year law student, Pastor Soto should have known that the side of the road is not the place to adjudicate a traffic stop. That said, any criticism of his demeanor or emotional state must be weighed against the reality that his apprehension was ultimately justified by the deputy's conduct. Pastor Soto didn't just have a disability in the abstract sense. He had staples in his spine, was walking with crutches, had just left rehab, and literally said that he couldn't physically comply with the deputy's demands. While maintaining composure is typically critical in navigating police encounters, outlier situations, such as those involving serious medical conditions, demand heightened awareness and caution. Although Pastor Soto did not immediately disclose the specifics of his condition, it clearly influenced his defensiveness, which was later validated by the harm that he suffered at the hands of Deputy Almaguer. Throughout the interaction, Pastor Soto remained nonviolent, never attempted to flee, and made consistent efforts to communicate his limitations. Following the incident, he entered a plea agreement without admitting guilt and took steps to correct the record when an unauthorized apology letter was filed with the court on his behalf. He then pursued a federal civil rights lawsuit citing violations of the ADA and excessive force. Now, while I would caution others in a similar situation to refrain from allowing your emotions to dictate your conduct, I commend Pastor Soto for remaining nonviolent, asserting his medical limitations clearly, and seeking accountability post-encounter through the proper legal channels. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.